Hey everyone, Tim Schofield here from CubeKing77.com, and Motorola has released another device in their best-selling Moto G line. So they are at the Moto G 3rd generation. I've been using the 16 gigabytes of internal storage, 2 gigabytes of RAM model, which is going to run you about $220. Whereas they have another model which is 8 gigabytes of internal storage and also 1 gigabyte of RAM. And that's going to cost you $40 less at $180. Anyways, been using this for a long time, got lots of thoughts on it. So let's go ahead and review it and see if it's one of the best budget devices out there right now. Alright, and here is the 3rd generation Moto G, and as you can see, it's actually submerged in water right now. And why am I doing that? It is actually IPX7 water resistant, so it means it can withstand up to 1 meter of water for 30 minutes, actually. You'll see it's been in there for about 10 minutes now, and I think that's more than enough time to test it. Let's go ahead and pause this. You'll see the touchscreen's working, but I'm actually going to dry it off just real quick, because obviously if you're going to get it wet, you're going to want to dry it off right away. So, here we go. And you'll see it works fine. Touchscreen working great, still responsive. It's sealed very well on the back. You actually have clips around the camera here where you have to make sure they are pressed in just fine. But no water gets in anywhere. I mean, you'll see there's no bubbles, no water leaks inside at all. So like I said, that's a really neat design feature. Motorola also added the Moto G to Moto Maker, so you can actually customize the look of it. You'll see I just kind of went with a pretty minimal black and white look to my Moto G when I customize it, but there's many different colors, many different options in Moto Maker. When it comes to design, you'll see the back plate actually has some texture to it, which allows for some added grip, and it's not slippery at all. You'll see that signature Motorola dimple still there, very minimal though. You have an LED flash, along with a 13 megapixel camera. Moving down to the bottom, you have your micro USB 2.0 charging slot. On the right side, you have volume rockers and a power button as well. Taking a closer look at the buttons on the side, you'll notice the power button actually has some texture to it, which helps in differentiating between those volume rockers below it. When you press the buttons, it's kind of springy, I guess you could call it, and overall it just kind of has a bit of a cheap feel. It's nothing too bad, but it's just a little cheap compared to a couple other phones I've used. Absolutely nothing along the left side of the device, and then up at the top you have that 3.5mm headphone jack. Now I want to peel off the back really quick, and it's actually a little difficult to do, which is good obviously for that water resistance. And you'll notice there is actually some water that did get into the back, which should be okay. Honestly, it should actually be pretty normal. So you have a SIM slot and then expandable storage, so a nice micro SD card slot to expand either that 8 or 16 gigs of internal storage. And then on the front of the device, you actually have two, what looks like speakers. Actually, the main speaker's on the bottom here, and then you just have an earpiece up at top. So it's not stereo sound. You have a 5 megapixel camera right there. When it comes to the speaker quality, it's actually pretty good. Honestly, being on the front of the device is a huge plus. And overall, I've had a decent experience. It's pretty average quality and loudness, but I mean, it does the job, especially for a budget device. Now, when it comes to budget devices, you will need to make a couple sacrifices with them. And in this case, I think the display is a bit of a sacrifice. You have a 720p 5-inch display. It's IPS LCD, actually. And to my eye, it looks like the colors are just a little bit washed out. I mean, overall, it's nothing too bad. But when I watch videos and play games, it's a little bit noticeable. Also, when you're outside, the display doesn't get as bright as you'd like it to. It's still not terrible, but still you wish it would get a little brighter in bright light situations. And honestly, touch input on the device doesn't seem the greatest. I've kind of noticed it when I type really quickly on the keyboard, it might skip a couple keys, and then when I switch to Swift key, even from the stock Google keyboard, it'll think I'm using swipe when I'm not. I'm actually typing with 2 fingers. There's also a feature called Moto Display. When you pick up the device, it's going to let you know the time, if you have any notifications. And with it being an LCD display, the entire panel lights up, which is kind of annoying when you're in bed and it lights up the entire screen right next to you in the dark. One thing Motorola said they were going to improve a lot upon is the camera. And in my opinion on the Moto G, I think they did a very good job overall. The software on it's very simple. You'll see you can flip it to that 5 megapixel front-facing camera. It works pretty well, and then you have a video camera on the back as well. It's really a quick, easy point and shoot. You'll see I quickly tapped it, and it snapped a shot. Overall, focusing does a very good job in good lighting situations. You swipe over, and you have your basic functions, sound, HDR mode, flash, point to focus, etc. Now I want to go ahead and talk about a couple pictures I took in bright light situations. It does a very good job. It has the same sensor as the Nexus 6, however, it does not have optical image stabilization. So overall, when it comes to low light pictures, they get kind of grainy. Focusing, it doesn't focus very well either. So I mean, in low light situations, it has its drawbacks, but overall, in good lighting situations, I've been pretty impressed with the camera. When recording video, you have two options, HD 1080p or slow-mo, which is 720p as well. Overall, I mean, it did a pretty good job, like I said, in good lighting situations. It doesn't really have tap to focus, so when you get close up on subjects, it doesn't do a very good job at focusing on them. The Moto G has a 2,470 milliamp hour battery, and this is one of the best things about the device. Battery life is ridiculously good. I am super impressed with it. Standby time is just insane. Here is one day. You'll see I get over 4 hours screen on time. Honestly, my usage is very heavy. I use my phone a good amount with emails, games, watching YouTube videos, essentially everything, streaming music, etc. Here's a day when I got 4 hours and 47 minutes screen on time, and then another day when I got the exact same thing. Overall, I'll get about 4 hours and 35 minutes screen on time average. So overall, battery life has been fantastic. Now, a couple drawbacks is that it is an embedded battery, so no removable battery. Also, no NFC in it as well. And then also when you charge it, there is no quick charging. If you use the charger that actually came with the device, it takes about 4 hours to completely charge it, and that's pretty annoying. Now, software on the Moto G, it has essentially stock Android with a couple tweaks. It has Android 5.1.1 Lollipop, which is the latest as of this video, and honestly, the tweaks that they've added are very useful, and they're not very obtrusive. So let's go ahead and go to the Moto app here, and here's some of the ones that you can do. Assist. It adjusts automatically when you're sleeping. It'll put it on quiet if you have at a place, if you're in a meeting, etc. So those activities, you have actions, you react to motion. So chop twice for flashlight and twist for quick capture. A couple of these, chop twice for flashlight is really convenient. You just kind of go like this, and the LED light's going to turn on, and you can go like this, and it will turn off. And that even works when you're in an app. So let's say I'm scrolling in an app and in the dark, and I need to look for something. You'll see the app's still open, and we can turn on and off the flashlight. You can also double twist the phone whether the screen is on or off, and it will open up the camera application, and this is very convenient. The only time I've noticed it might occasionally open up is if you drop it down on your bed or a soft surface, and it will maybe land on its side and then twist. You'll see it will open up the camera. That only happens occasionally, and it's not a big deal to me at all. Again, they've added Moto Display, which I really like when it comes to just wanting to check the time or check your notifications really quick. And it doesn't have a big drain on the battery either. Like I said, battery life is really good. Now, what it doesn't have is Moto Voice, when you can just say, okay, Moto, and it's going to open up a search when you have your screen off, etc. They have not added that to the Moto G. Now, when it comes to overall performance, I have been impressed. It has a Snapdragon 410 quad-core processor, and it does a very good job at loading up apps. And multitasking as well has been good with 2 gigabytes of RAM. I mean, RAM management has been good on Android 5.1.1. And as you can see, switching through all of these apps, it does a very good job at loading them up and not having much stuttering. When you play games as well, games look okay on the display. They, like I said, look a little washed out, the colors, etc. But, I mean, performance-wise, even high-end gaming has been good. You might get an occasional stutter here and there. But nothing too bad at all, honestly. Unless you're running a ton of apps at once, performance has been great. All right, just want to give some quick final thoughts on the Moto G 3rd generation. And overall battery life has been really good. Motorola did a fantastic job. Camera, it gets the job done, I would say, overall, especially at that price point, the 180, 220. Low light shots, just not that great. But overall, it does get the job done. Like I said, the screen is probably my biggest complaint. It's just okay. It's not terrible, but it's just not that great. And then when you add Moto Maker to customize it, US LTE support, and also essentially stock Android, it's a really good budget package at that price point. I would say it's a go for me. I had a really good experience, especially performance. I was very impressed with performance, multitasking as well, running high-end games. So I would say it's a go for me. Good job, Motorola. I'm impressed. You are definitely at the top of the leaderboard when it comes to budget devices. So let me know what you think. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, if you could give it a thumbs up, I would appreciate it. You can subscribe to me as well. A lot more coverage coming soon. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Google+. All links in the description of the video below. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching.